Today, we are joined by the raw, relatable, and hilariously honest Stefanie Maegan, creator and host of the hit podcast Broke Girl Therapy. What started as a broke, single 20 something navigating dating in LA has grown into a sex positive sanctuary where nothing is off limits. Mental health, messy breakups, orgasms, and healing through ho shit. She's built a loyal community by keeping it real, asking the hard questions, and owning her truth loudly. So let's get unmasked with the queen of radical vulnerability, Stefanie Maegan. Welcome back, everybody, to the Masked Swingers. Hi,
Hi,
Brian.
Layla.
And hello, Stefanie.
Hi!
I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here.
I have been a fan of your podcast and your work for so long.
Shut up.
Before,
Really?
when you were living in the Bay, and I was like
Yeah.
really close with the twins.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
want to hang out with Stefanie. Where's Stefanie? And they're like, she's getting ready to move back to LA.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he moved down here. And then like I have just been stalking your socials, like too nervous to like ask you to be my friend.
Are you
So
serious?
yeah,
Oh
so
my God,
I had to
no.
fake, like I had to like, create a podcast and like bring guests on. And I did that for a couple years, and finally
You're like, I had to scheme
the
you
moment
here.
is
Yeah.
here.
Well, I've heard a lot about you. We did literally a whole live show about you. Honestly, it was in San Francisco. I mean, we didn't say your name, but it was like you were
I was L.
You were L. Did
Uh-huh.
you say that?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
L.
And so it was you were always like this mystery person. It was like, oh my God, I know she has great boobs.
I know, I
Like,
get that a lot.
I know. It was like I've heard such great things about her. So I'm glad to like finally like meet you and
It's so cool. And also, your
Yeah.
shit is so funny. And also, what I love about
Aw.
your content is that, like, you're so fucking for real. You
Aw,
know what I mean? And I
thanks.
think that this world just desperately craves authenticity in so many ways.
Yeah.
And I think that we're all, like, not to get too symbolic, but we're all kind of wearing these masks, right? In like society.
But now we're
But now
taking
we're
it
Now
not.
we're
Now we're not.
But like you were
Yeah.
unmasked from the beginning in lots of ways, right? Where you're like, this
Yeah.
is me, this is who I am, this is what I think, and you've always just like,
Mhm.
from what I've seen over the years, have been unapologetically yourself.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah,
That
so,
means
like-
a lot.
What have you always been like that, or did it like come later in life?
Well, I think I've always been like weirdly blunt, and not like in a blunt way where I'm like mean, but I've always been like, oh yeah, I just farted, and everyone would be like, wow, that was really weird. Okay, and so I think I just at a young age has always just kind of just owned my shit because I'm like, I don't want someone else to call my farts out, so I'm gonna call my farts out. You know what I
Love
mean?
that.
And I think that kind of just like went on with the rest of my life. And so, but I think with like sex and dating and stuff, that was something that was like very taboo for me. So like having the show was me being like authentically myself, which is very blunt and honest, but also being like, I'm not ashamed anymore. Well, still there is shame, but
So like
it's
open about
but
it.
openly
It's-
shame.
So this makes you. So you lived in the Bay when you started the show.
No, I lived out here, but I lived
Okay.
in the Bay. Sorry, I like at the Apple cross. Like,
Yeah, get cozy.
yeah, I'm like I like to cross my legs. I'm born and raised in LA, but I lived in the Bay for like a couple years.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because my boyfriend is from there.
All right.
Yeah.
Is dating? Would you say it was dating harder in LA or in the Bay Area?
So I moved to the Bay because my boyfriend
Oh,
lives
so you
there.
never-
So I never got the chance to do it, which I feel like would have been fun because I feel like Bay Area people, I mean, makes sense now I have a guy from the Bay, but I feel like I would really vibe with the guys out there. And so, but LA was unfortunately where I've only dated. Ugh. Unfortunately, and it's like, I don't know where it's like anywhere else, but it's fucking hard out here.
Yeah.
And I had to like outsource to find my boyfriend. Like I had to find someone that was not from here, that didn't live here, and then bring him to LA.
Yeah. How'd you find him then?
Twitter.
Did you find him on Twitter?
Yeah, like it wasn't. So I found him. Well, he found me, and then he just like tweeted me. It was back in like 2017. He okay. Funny enough, it's kind of a weird story, but I'll start from the beginning. So I used to go on this app called SoulSwipe. It's
Oh God.
it's like dating for the Black community,
Uh-huh.
even though
Yeah.
I'm not Black. But I was I was in there, even though realistically, I'm like, I should have just left it for that community and not, but I loved it. So
Were you looking for a black man?
yeah, because that's like
Yeah.
predominantly what like I date, and so on Hinge, Tinder, whatever, it was always like I had to, and not just black men. It was like people of color. So I always felt like I needed to like scroll through like all the white people.
Yeah.
No, we're
We're nothing,
garbage.
no shame to,
No, all the
No
shame.
shame for white for being white
No,
because
I,
you
I
are.
am
Like,
ashamed.
it's not your fault.
I'm so
But like, yeah, but it's just, it wasn't, it's just, I just knew what was attracted to. So I'd always just kind of, I liked the fact that there was an app that was like, okay, this is where they're all at. And so the app it was kind of janky, but I loved it anyway. Anyways, my boyfriend was also on the app. He thought the app was just super janky. So he's like, let me see, because he works in like social media and like marketing and stuff. And so he's like, let me see what people are saying about this. And so he goes on Twitter, searches like SoulSwipe, and he finds my tweet that says, oh my God, I love SoulSwipe.
So you didn't even meet on SoulSwipe. You
No.
met because you mentioned SoulSwipe on
Yes.
Twitter.
Yes. So it's like I met because of a dating app, but not on the
Yeah,
dating
not
app.
on the dating app.
But still on the internet, you know, but it was
Wow.
Twitter. So formerly Twitter.
Uh-huh.
And then so he, you know, obviously thought it was cute or whatever, and then saw that I had a podcast. It was like back in 2017 when I just started. And so he listened to it, and he also was like worked in radio and broadcasting and was genuinely like a fan of my work. So he tweeted me, was like, hey, and like just showed love. Was like, I think you're super funny, or you and your guest are like hilarious. Like, keep up the good work, whatever. And then we just followed each other. And then in 2020, I DM'd him. And that was, so it was like a few years
Whoa!
before
Oh snap!
anything ever happened. Yeah.
Were you attracted to him off the bat? Were you like, oh, he's cute? Or were you like, oh,
Yeah,
I don't have
but
time?
I just was like, you know, I was out in the streets doing my own thing. I don't know. You know what I mean? It was just like, and we followed each other and we always had a lot in common. And I was like, man, I just really feel like I could vibe with this guy,
Yeah.
you know? And so I hit him up and was just like, hey, like, if you ever in LA, like, hit
But
me
was this
up.
like 2020, like lockdown? when
Yeah,
you hit-
we were in the middle of
Oh,
lockdown.
So then it made like at that point you couldn't go out anyway, so it made sense to connect with a
Had to
guy on Twitter who
outsource.
lived in the Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that makes more sense. then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What inspired you to like do this podcast?
Wow. Because honestly, I was not able to keep a man or a job. Like, I was living in this basement of some random guy I met on Craigslist who was like an older gay man who was like a Trump supporter. And you know, whatever. I
No,
don't,
it's
I don't
my
know.
worst-
I
it's
was
my-
like, I don't know what.
My worst nightmare. I'll cut it,
Right,
Brian. But my
right.
worst nightmare.
And this was like 2016, so like
OG
I mean,
Trump, the original yeah,
Trump.
Yeah.
But this was like still, I moved in when Obama was still in office. So it was kind of like racism is not a thing, you know, ignorance. But then being like, oh shit. And then, anyways, so that's a different podcast. That's a different topic.
Brian would love to talk about it.
Yeah.
Layla will not let me
You
talk
guys
about
do
it
the
at
politics.
all.
Oh, really? Oh, my
She
boyfriend's
will-
name is Brian.
Oh, really?
Stop.
There
Yeah,
we-
with the
so-
Y. Is yours with
No,
an
with an I.
I?
Yeah,
It's
not
with
that
an I.
exotic. But
We'll bring the Bryans on. You can come on and talk
Yeah.
about politics, and I will go
your
hide in the
boyfriend's black
bathroom.
too?
Yes.
Oh
yes,
yeah, I don't.
yeah.
I don't meet that many black Bryans.
Really? You know, they're out there, but they're usually with the Y. But so that's why I'm like, you're, I mean, obviously you're black,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yours with the
Good
I.
guess. Like,
Good
yeah,
guess.
you really went for it.
I mean, you know,
You nailed it. Yeah.
You really went for it,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you know, nowadays you can't always like
You
assume.
can't.
Right.
Yeah.
People think I'm Mexican, so I just,
Are you Filipino?
yeah, good job.
Look at that. Look at
Always
look.
knows. He always
Look at
knows.
that. We
you.
know each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
And you're
So-
white.
Okay. I was about to ask you. Oh, your hands feel so good. You feel how warm I am?
Yeah, you're really hot.
Thanks.
Oh,
Is that what you wanted?
Yes,
was that
oh,
like
that's what I was
you
looking
threw that
for.
out there?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
So you're with a
such
Trump
dad
supporter in
joke.
a basement, and you're like,
Yes.
podcast time.
Yeah, so I was just like, I was so fucking broke, could barely afford my $500 rent. I couldn't really keep a man. And I was like, I was on the apps and I was dating and I was obviously doing the whole hookup thing, but I'm like such a lover girl. Like, I want to be in a relationship. Like, I want to, you know, and no man ever wanted me. They just wanted this pussy, but they didn't want the heart. Yeah. So I always felt like I needed some sort of outlet to express myself. Like, you know, I love to sing. I've like written music and stuff. So I just wanted something for me to have, you know, like a platform to just express myself. And then podcasting was the thing. And I didn't have any video. It was just honestly just an audio mic on the floor, and I sat with friends and guys that I've dated and hooked up with, and then it just went from there.
Were you getting like feedback and stuff like from the guys, or what were you doing with?
Yeah, so I was just asking them why can't you commit to me? Yeah, it used
Shut
to
Like
be a lot
live
more
on the.
juicier back when I was
Oh
single, not gonna lie.
snap!
But yeah, so I would bring them on. I'd be like, how come and it would just be a lot of like, I have commitment issues, or just you're not the one, or like I'm going through whatever. Yeah, so I would like try to figure it out, and I would interview the guys that I've like hooked up with and dated if they were down to come on the show. Some were
Right.
like not really down for that,
Right.
but
The restraining order has 4 more years.
you're right. I was like, some of them had me blocked, but it's okay. I could have no way reaching them. But but the ones that were, I was cool with, they would come on. We would talk about it, and that's just kind of where it started. And so I would, could find in friends too. So I'd bring friends on, and yeah, and that was like my form of therapy.
That's so cool. So
Mhm.
you know that we're a podcast about non-monogamy.
Yes.
Are you and your boyfriend monogamous?
Uh, monogam-ish? I mean, like, okay, so we've dabbled. It's kind of hard to say that we're like, I guess we're open, but we're not like active.
That is way more interesting to me than someone being like,
Really?
yeah, we're open. You just describing that, I have so many questions.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Fuck
Okay.
it.
Throw your notes away. So,
Throw your notes away.
It's like I
Rip
worked on this
it.
for
They're just
2
like
hours.
sitting there, just like a blanket right now.
Yeah.
I'm not even using them.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you guys try non-monogamy and then you were like, let's backtrack?
So yeah, we've I think the twins were such a huge like inspiration, an introduction to like the non-monogamy world.
That's
And
Cammy and Nicole with Double Team.
yes, yes. And so, my boyfriend and I are very like honest and open with each other. And we talked about like, would we ever do that? Is that something like that we would be interested in? And I just kind of realized that I don't really get jealous. And it turns me on if he like hooks up with someone else and I watch. So I'm like, I'm a cuck.
I'm a cut queen.
I'm a cuck.
No, I'm a cut
Yes.
queen 100%. That's my thing. I'm a
Oh,
cut queen. I have a
I
cut
love it.
queen corner. I have my chair. I have the people that I like
We're
to
not that
watch.
advanced, but it's like
It's a thing.
It's
It
a thing.
turns me
It's a
on.
conversation.
That's how I got into the lifestyle.
Wow.
I was
You're
asking
like,
my
I just want to
husband.
watch.
I was like, tell me stories. And it got
Yes.
to a point where he started repeating stories, and I'm like, we have to go make some new ones.
Yeah,
So
no,
you
I'm
need to go
like, tell me about all the people you've hooked up with.
Oh, and you want all
and
the
what
details.
I want all the details.
Yes.
I'm like the positions, like you sucking her titties and shit. Like
Yep.
I want to know everything, and then I would just like get off.
Have you always been like that, or was it just with your current
Just
boyfriend?
with him. My boyfriend before him, I mean, it was a toxic relationship. I was like super crazy jealous.
But not in a fun
So,
way.
not in a fun way, because obviously he was like a liar and all that
Okay.
stuff. So, but with my boyfriend now, I feel very safe with him. So I feel like I'm able to like explore those needs and not feel crazy and
Mhm.
judged, And so yeah, and so it's been a conversation of like, let's do it, but we also have just been busy with life where we haven't really fully done it yet. It's more of just like a thing that we like talk about and fantasize about, especially like during bed. Like
Mhm.
I always tell him like, pretend I'm like whoever you want to fuck right now.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like,
So
and like
hot.
literally just pretend, and I'll just do whatever to him, and he's just like, okay, and then
Does he like
yeah,
give it a name and everything too?
sometimes, and I'm like, oh,
He's like-
who do you want to fuck?
he's
Let
like,
me know. Like,
He's like moaning someone else's name.
Yes,
See, I think that's so fucking hot too.
right?
I think that's so
Okay,
hot.
I feel seen. Thank
Oh
you.
my god, 110%.
Yeah,
So how
yeah.
would it feel to you to watch him with somebody? Do you
I
suspect?
haven't seen it yet. So he was talking to somebody. There was a couple girls that he was talking to. One, and they kind of like played around, but nothing like fully happened after that. And then there was another girl within the last year that he was like talking to. They would go on dates and stuff, and they would like make out, and like even just the thought of him
Yes.
making out with her, I was like, tell me more.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
like, why aren't you guys fucking yet?
Right.
Like it was to the point where I'm like, hurry up. He's like, dude. He's like, I'm just taking my time.
It's like date number 10. And
Yeah,
shit.
like he's very sweet and he's nice and he just likes to like he doesn't want to like force anything. And so I'm just like, oh god, he has like the third date, y'all.
No, my husband has been
Mm.
dating this girl since like November, and they
Mhm.
see each other like once a week, and they still haven't had sex. I know.
That would piss me off.
Is that driving you crazy
That's
too?
driving
Like,
me
that would
crazy.
piss
And
me
every time he
off.
comes home, and I'm like, Did it happen?
Did it happen?
And he's
Yeah.
like, no, it's still like, because he's trying to redefine what sex means to him. So, like,
Mm,
they're doing it in a very intentional, sweet way. And so
yeah.
they're all spiritual and sweet. And he comes home.
That's
And I'm all
sweet.
like,
Yeah.
did you
You're
fuck
like,
that
oh,
pussy yet or
Right.
not?
he's going through like a personal growth journey with
Fuck
this
his personal
person,
growth. I'm
and
trying to
like,
come.
Right. Yeah.
You
You're like,
know?
there's a reason why we're doing this.
Right. Get
Yeah.
to work.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
But
my
you're
God. No,
like
we're
want
the
to
same.
respect the boundaries, but
I
like deep
respect
down,
it.
you're just like,
I
what
love
the
it.
fuck?
so your boyfriend got close, but never did it.
Yeah. Like they've like made out. They've
Is this
definitely.
currently happening?
This
Or is it in
was
the past?
like within like the last. She just got a boyfriend, so I
Like
think.
monogamous boyfriend?
I assume so. Yeah,
Okay.
because she wasn't really like. I don't think she was the type to be non-monogamous. She was just single, and
Okay.
it was just like she. And he was very honest with her about the situation, and so she was fine with it. And yeah, and so like they would make out and stuff like that, and then there was this one time that he was gonna invite her over, but at that time we were kind of like having a bit of a rough patch. Nothing like major, but it was just some things we weren't agreeing on, just outside of, the situation. And I just didn't really feel like it was the right time for him to like bring a girl over when I felt like we still have some like unresolved shit, Because like ultimately it's an add on to a relationship. It's not,
Right.
And so I feel like in order for us to do that, we have to be like very aligned and at a certain place. So that never happened. He was very respectful. He's like, yeah, like you first, like whenever you're ready. And then like, but then she got a boyfriend. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta fuck that up.
So you
Yeah.
so
So
you have not been able to watch yet. The
no.
thing you want to do most. Like, how long have you been wanting to do this? It's been like a 2 year. Like you knew.
Oh, like a couple years now. Yeah. It just, I don't like to force things. I'm the type of person, even just when dating him in relationships, like I don't like to force it. Like I just
Mhm.
happens, it happens, And so
Is it purely sexual, or like, do you like, does he go on dates with them and like has some sort of romantic connection with them, or is it just physical?
it's like he he likes to have a connection with them.
Mhm.
So even if it's like a crush and it's physical, but it's not. I don't want to say the word romantic
Mhm.
because I think that like makes it a little more lovey-dovey, but it's just more, I guess, like more of a friendship and a connection that you want to like build with someone. And I feel like he needs to do that in order to just like hook up with anyone. I don't think he could
Got
just
it.
do the like, okay, meet up with a chick and like do the thing. Like I think he needs to have some sort of connection. And that's fine with me too, as long as it's not like romantic and shit.
What would what might sorry, I'll let you chime in. No, you go ahead because I'm gonna go on and on.
Well, I was curious, like, because we brought up race earlier, right? Because
Hmm.
like he's black, I'm black,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
My wife's Filipina.
Oh my
Um,
god, look at us. I love that.
so I've been sitting here, I'm like, man, I wonder how much race dynamics play into this because I know that
Hmm.
for me, it's like when I was in college, I would hook up with girls and like just not call them again because like that's what black dudes did, right? That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
learned. That's what I learned from like hip hop, right?
Right,
And then as I got older, I was like, well, if I hook up with someone, I want to make sure that we can still be friends afterwards because I don't want to be like I used to be. And so
right.
I'm curious for your boyfriend, is like, has he always been like this, or do you think there might be some like underlying
Yeah. Thing.
baggage?
I think he's always been like that. He's I think I mean he's had like one night stands. I can't like fully I guess maybe speak for him on that because I know he's like hooked up with girls, had one night stands. He's done the whole like hit and quit it, not call them, but he's not like he's just not an asshole.
Mhm.
And he's just like he's someone who just I think does value connection and needs to feel comfortable. I will say, like, full disclosure, like, he um definitely has gone through like a weight journey as well too. So I know that like physical is something that, is like makes you feel comfortable with someone or not. Like you have to feel a certain comfort with someone. So I know that plays a part too. Like he's definitely lost like 100 pounds and is still on his weight journey. So I know like sorry baby for putting your show on blast, but I know but I'm sure that played a part.
Right.
Yeah, just feeling comfort. And I think for me too, because I know I'm not like a size two. Like I definitely, have always like struggled with like self-image and stuff like that. So I know for me that's also played a part with like feeling comfortable enough to just like go have sex with somebody.
Do you do you aspire to like have sex with other people too, or you just want to do the cut queen thing, or do you want to fuck other guys?
Um so for me, I honestly I think eventually, but I'm really just not interested right now. And if I do, I think I would want to do more women.
So you're bisexual.
I don't know if I want to claim that because I never hooked up with a girl, so I don't know.
You've never hooked up. Have you ever kissed a girl?
Yeah, but
Okay, but
like
you've never like gone down on a girl.
no, never like really fully like done the whole hookup thing. You
You're like
know?
interviewing her like she's like
No, I'm
on
so.
trial.
I
You're
know. I'm
so funny.
sorry,
You're like,
yeah.
but have
No,
you
I
ever?
just
but
find
have
you fascinating. Well,
It's
because
so funny.
well, we don't interview a lot of people
You-
that aren't in the lifestyle.
Right.
And so I actually find it. I feel like we just like have a mesh. So most, if not all, of my friends are in the lifestyle, and so
Yeah.
talking to someone who does speak about sex as
Mhm.
openly as you do, I actually
Yeah.
just find that very surprising because you just seem so
Oh.
open-minded.
Yeah.
And so it's not that you probably haven't had the opportunity to, right? But I just, but no, I'm
No,
not.
but I love that she recognizes it without even having done it.
Right.
Right.
Like I would play with a girl. Like I think I would like to watch, and you already know that
Mm.
about yourself without
Yeah.
doing it yet. I think it's
Yeah, I think, I mean, for me, because I know that because I talk so openly about sex, that maybe people might have this assumption that I've like tried and done all the things. But I think when I talk about sex, it comes from a perspective of like a little bit of the naiveness and innocence. Not to even call myself innocent, but just growing up in a very Catholic and sheltered household. Like I had a curfew up until I was like 21. So I was very like sheltered. And so to me, like sex is just it's a taboo subject that I'm still like navigating, So that's why it's like I want to try all these things and I'm so open about it, but I'm also like there is that bit of like scared, like oh I'm like shy,
Yeah.
So like I'm yeah
Do you
yeah.
do you have friends that you can like go to parties with, or would you want to go to a party just to kind of?
I would, but I haven't like it just hasn't come across like
It just hasn't come up
I
on
was
your
gonna ask that too
Yeah.
because you said you're not trying to force it, but you actually do have a Rolodex that could help you out with all of
I
it.
know. I have access, like I have the
Right.
resources. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. So I think it just hasn't really like I'm the very go with the flow type of person. Like it kind of just needs to and well, I'm also like if I'm very determined, so if I really want to do something, it could happen. But I feel like with that, it's just something that I'm like, I feel like it will I know it'll happen. It just hasn't happened yet. I don't
Mhm.
know.
I'm gonna take her to
I
a
also
party.
do work a
Huh?
lot.
I'm gonna take her
so-
to a party.
Take her.
Oh, I'm down. Honestly, no one's just ever invited me.
Really?
No one. That's basically.
What kind of party do you want to go to?
Well, she probably doesn't even know the
She
kind
Yeah, I
of
don't know. I don't.
are.
I mean,
She's
I
heard of
think
them.
for me, I would definitely like. I mean, never say never because sometimes I just be down for shit. But like, I think I would want to. I don't have the expectation of do something right away. I think I would want to like fill it out first.
Mhm.
So I don't know because I don't really. For me, I envisioned it to be like a house party, and while everyone's just like fucking, and there's just like
There's those.
there's
That's how
like
you envisioned it.
snacks and drinks and stuff.
There's definitely
What,
parties
are- what,
like
are,
that.
what are
like-
in your vision? What are the snacks?
Yeah, like I'm like by the snack table.
Yeah, what are?
That's where I'm at a lot of the
Like,
time.
like,
What are-
yeah,
It's
so
like peanuts and popcorn.
yeah,
Yeah.
like okay, like what brings you here? Like I don't know, like
Well, that's what's great about sex parties too. Is there's
Yeah.
always something to talk about. You're never talking
Okay.
about the weather. You're in your most vulnerable state, standing next to
Yeah.
someone in their most vulnerable state. You're not talking about the weather or sports. You're like,
yeah,
how long have you been in this space? What are some of your kinks? Like you're really getting down to the nitty gritty right
Oh,
away
fun,
because it's like
okay.
we're already naked. We may as well talk about
yeah,
things we're
yeah,
interested
yeah,
in. Like there's
Okay.
no awkwardness.
yeah.
But there are parties where it's like take your clothes off at the door, which are a little
Oh,
intense. Maybe
that
for
might
first
be
timers.
like for the first time, maybe not ready for
Right.
that yet. Like I think it would need to be like a slow introduction, and then
Mhm.
from there, I think I would have a better idea of like what I would feel comfortable with. I've just never been in that environment, so I can't. I don't know.
That'd be fine. You and I could just go. We can make it like a girls thing. Like I
Yeah.
don't play at half the parties I go to anyway. Like I just want to
Yeah.
observe and feel cute in my outfit and just
Right,
walk
like
around.
I wanted to feel like I'm going to like I don't know, like dinner with the girlies, but it ended
Yeah.
just like stopping by this like sex party. Like that's how I always visioned my
Yeah.
night to be, and it just being like, all right, here we are, and then
Mhm. I do that with a lot of my girlfriends. We just go and just like
Oh, I'm
get dinner
down. Let me know.
beforehand.
No one's just
Okay.
ever invited me. Weirdly
Cool.
enough,
That is weird.
yeah.
Okay, you're
twins.
going.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
No,
bitch.
no,
I
no,
know,
no, no, no.
usually, Matt, yeah, hit them up because
Well,
they knew.
I will say when I first met the twins, the first 2 years I was like in the Bay, so I'm not trying to like be like you didn't invite me.
You heard it
It's
here
just-
first. Stephanie hates the twins.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
They know I love them. Everyone
You
knows I
love
love them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, no one's invited me. So,
That'd be
so
fun.
if someone invited me, I would say yes.
Okay,
So
cool.
See, it's
It
so
just
funny.
hasn't
I would
happened
take her
yet.
to Sophia's.
Ooh, Sophia Dominez.
Based
Is
on
there
what
like
you
I need
said,
like good
because
music? Is there good music? Is that weird to like
there's
have
great. I
that
mean, there's always great music.
expectation?
She
There's
always
always
has
great
she has
music.
DJs, but it's really
Okay.
female led.
It's
Female.
female.
Okay.
It's female-led BDSM themed though. So
Ooh.
like the women really like take charge.
I kind of like that.
I do
I mean,
too.
because it's like I don't want to fuck guys because I'm just like
Mhm.
I'm, like I've
Been there, done that.
I've only fucked men in my life, and I
Mhm.
fuck a guy all the time. So I'm like I would want something like different, you
Wait,
know.
say it with
But
enthusiasm.
but I also
Dude, poor Brian.
no, I love fucking him. He knows
Okay,
it. But I'm
yeah.
just like,
I
but if
got
I'm
you,
gonna,
bro. I
if
got
I'm
you.
gonna,
You want
I
a
got
different
you.
flavor. You
yeah,
want to try
I
something
just
new.
want to like if I'm gonna go and explore, I think I would just want to try something different, you know. But I definitely do have like I might be bisexual. I do have a type of like woman that I would.
That was
like.
my next question.
I mean, I might just be like attracted to masculine behavior, but masculine. What is it? Energy. So I love a stud with a pretty face with like swag.
I literally, we're the same fucking person.
Really, you too?
Yes. Give me a Billie Eilish. Give me
Oh
like a
my god!
You think Billie Eilish
beautiful,
is hot?
like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
a beautiful face, but like
Yeah.
a swagger of like a
I'm like,
Bay Area
oh,
guy.
yes. Oh my god. There's this artist. She's kind of new. I don't know what her pronouns are, but I think people have been saying she, her. But she's very masculine presenting, and she's like this R&B artist, and I've just been like
I live
over
for it.
her, and I'm like, oh man,
What's her
the
name?
swag. K1, KWN.
KWN. I have to look
Paint
it
your
up.
look her
nails.
up.
I don't know. She's been on TikTok.
That's
Paint your
that's
nails
my
and I like
favorite.
it. Yeah.
And like obviously I was super into Nicole like when we dated, you
Yeah.
know, and like she's beautiful but like has kind of like a masculine like
She
strong
does have that
energy.
masculine, strong energy
Yeah,
for sure.
like
Yeah,
I love that. So
Yeah.
like we have similar types. So we can go
Yay.
out to this
And
female
find
led
ourselves
party,
studs.
find ourselves some cute
and
little
make out with
studs.
them.
See, man, I'm telling you,
I just
Sophia.
want to suck on a
see,
pair of
I got
tits.
it.
Like that's all I want.
That's all you
It
want.
doesn't need to be anything crazy.
Cool, let's go.
I want to bring you back on. Like I want you
We're
to
gonna
go to
go to parties.
Sophia's.
Okay.
Go to parties and then
And we'll talk about
and you're
it.
gonna
Uh-huh.
watch
Okay, I'm
and,
down.
and watch Brian fuck someone, right?
Oh
and
my
then bring
gosh,
you
like-
back on and like debrief the whole thing.
Party number 1 is just gonna be with the girls. Party number
Yes.
2, we're gonna bring Brian.
Brian, yes.
And then you're gonna watch him
He
fuck
would love
another girl.
that. He would be so down for like a sex party. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, I just want to see him like fuck a thick Latina, you know?
See,
That's like
see.
Okay, can I ask? All right, I want to ask you another race question. Okay, because like,
Yeah.
so you grew up you're Filipina,
yeah.
grew up Catholic. Do you have siblings?
Yes.
Okay, how many siblings do you have?
3 brothers and 1 sister. She's like
Okay.
a stepsister, and my youngest brother is like a half brother. My parents are divorced,
Okay,
but I grew up with 2 brothers.
and like culturally, like in your family, when you guys when they brought food home, like were you expected to share it with all your siblings?
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah.
He asked someone a toilet question earlier that
yeah,
made no sense.
yeah. But I'm like trying to see where you're going with this.
No,
But
man,
yes, yeah.
No,
because
his
my-
transitions are usually smooth.
Yeah.
My as my wife stares at me from out the corner.
Okay. Because
So
yeah,
there
she knows
is,
the culture.
so my wife actually has this theory, right? That like in the lifestyle space, especially in LA, there actually are a lot of Filipino women.
Oh, I love that. Oh my god, that
A
makes me
lot.
happy.
A
Really?
lot.
Yeah.
An overwhelming number of the women
Mhm.
are like they're
Because we're
out
freaks.
represent.
Let me tell you.
I
Okay.
know.
There's
Yeah.
I think part of it is like grew up Catholic, so like definitely going against that, but
Yeah.
also grew up sharing. Like the culture in the
Interesting.
family is like you have to share with your siblings. If you're gonna go
Yeah.
to if you're gonna go get frozen yogurt, you got to bring some home for the entire family,
Yeah.
right? And so there's this natural like we're down to share within the culture, and I'm
And
curious
it's
if that's
rude
landing.
if you don't eat. You know, like if they cook food for you and you're like, I'm not hungry. What the fuck? What do you mean?
That's why they're all fucking at the parties. They're like, we
yeah,
gotta.
you have. If you're
gotta
here,
eat.
you have
The
to eat.
expectation.
What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is this landing at all?
That's
That's
good.
an
Yeah,
interesting
that's
theory.
interesting. It made me think just a random story, but I remember my brother went out and bought some pizza, and he like I was in the kitchen and he comes home and I see him with this pizza and he like runs by and like goes into his room because he didn't want to share it with me.
Oh,
I still bring it up to this day.
what's his name?
Everett.
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 Everett. Is it just Everett?
Everett, yeah.
Oh,
Is it a combination
Everett.
of 2 names?
No, it's
No, okay,
Everett,
that's just
yeah.
his
Or
name. Okay,
Rhett
I'm
for
just
short,
checking.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
You're on my shit list,
Got
Brett.
it.
Everett.
It's okay. We're
Very
cool
correct.
now.
That's
We're
cool.
cool now.
That was I've been waiting to ask that question for like 15 minutes. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
you're the first Filipino on the show, so I'm like trying to figure
You
this
never had your wife on?
out. No.
Oh, because
No.
probably
Yeah, we keep that anonymous.
Yeah,
Okay, 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 okay. I see, I see.
She doesn't. She's
Boundaries.
not like an in front of the camera type person
Okay,
anymore.
okay.
No,
Why not? You're
no.
so beautiful.
I
It's
know.
not
She's so
about that.
beautiful.
You know.
Yeah, it's other things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you have? I know he works so hard on these notes, and
No, you're so much better than me.
go
I'm never
so hard with
prepared.
the guests, and I'm just like, let's talk about anything other than what
Yeah.
he wrote about. Poor guy.
Hilarious.
It's
Okay.
so all right.
Oh
Well, I
my
mean,
God.
you like a lot of the stuff you talk about is like modern relationship shit, like
Yeah.
communication breakdowns and stuff, like mismatched expectations. Yeah, pickle socks. My wife
I
bought
love
these
that.
for me.
That was really good.
Aw.
Mismatched. I don't know, we can talk about that because I am curious about your thoughts just on relationships in general, like misconceptions, especially men have about women and that women have about men.
Misconceptions in men. I think my boyfriend would want me to say this. There's a misconception that men are a lot more simple. Like, like, oh, men are simple. They're so black and white. And yes, and I still kind of stand by that theory a little bit, but my boyfriend gets mad at me for thinking that. He's like, no, we're just always told that we can't be vulnerable. Like, there are so much more to us. It's just like having to like create that space for us to like, to show that, and like having to be honest with men.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Is
it
that
does.
sticking?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I always be like, men are black and white. Just tell them what you need to tell them, whatever. And he's just like, that's not fair. Like, we're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
complex.
I
You just
like
like,
that.
there's just not a lot of like room for us to ever be that complex. So
It's almost like we're expected to not have feelings, right?
yeah,
So then
yeah.
when we have feelings, man, you know what you're touching on for me right now is like the whole like I want an alpha man
Mm-hmm.
movement and what that even means. Like when you say that, what are you expecting the man to be like? And I think
Exactly.
part of it is like, well, I'm expecting a man to be really tough and have no feelings, but
And like the masculinity of it. Yeah. But it's just like, it's okay to be vulnerable, and that doesn't make you not alpha male or not
Mm-hmm.
masculine. It's just men are just kind of told to just be like a leader and to be tough. And
I
so
think it's the most masculine thing that you could ever fucking do is by like
I
crying
agree.
and being in touch with your emotions and your feelings. Like,
1000%.
lead me in that way too.
Yeah,
Show me that it's okay to cry.
exactly. My boyfriend's a Cancer, so he cries. That
See?
motherfucker cried.
how would you define an alpha male?
Oh God. Well, anytime I think of alpha male, I instantly think of like red pill guys.
Mm,
You know what I mean? The ones that are like,
like Andrew Tate.
yes, that's the first thing I think.
Like that show Adolescence.
I haven't watched it.
Okay,
No,
fuck.
but I've
Yeah.
heard so much about. Everyone's been telling me to watch it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like I imagine when someone says alpha male, I think of someone who calls themselves an alpha male.
Yeah.
I imagine it's somebody that thinks that they are that men are better than women, that men deserve more rights than women, that it's not okay to cry, that they have to lead.
The toxic
The
masculinity.
toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine when someone says alpha male.
Yeah, are you the same way?
I think there's like the toxic version, 1000%. Like there is this kind of like, ugh, when they call themselves an alpha male. I'm just like, okay, relax,
Right.
bro. But there is a sense of like, there are those. I mean, yeah, maybe I do agree. You're right. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm
I
like,
never think about it in a positive way.
yeah, I'm like trying to think about it in a positive way to like but I'm like,
Yeah,
actually,
it's
yeah,
kind of
no, I
fucked
can
up
agree.
because like you probably have an idea in your mind of like what would an alpha male be, but now it's so fucking run down
Right.
Yeah.
by what you've seen that if I'm like, because I was actually asking you like what I was asking you how you would personally define it,
Well,
Yeah.
I
but
think
you
it,
can't even like look at it the same way anymore because of
what I imagine that men that like are real alpha men, like real men to me in my eyes are incredibly emotionally intelligent.
Mm,
That is what I
yeah.
think like true alpha male energy is to me is a man that is very much in touch with his
Yeah.
emotions and his feelings.
yeah.
Yeah, because I will say, like, I think my boyfriend, and maybe he wouldn't even classify himself as the alpha male, because again, it's like, it's more so like that toxic side of it. But like, to come to think of it, like, he is kind of embodies that in like the good way, in the positive way, because he is such a leader. He is really great at like taking care of me, and he provides and stuff. But he also is like very vulnerable.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would consider him an alpha male.
Honestly, anytime a guy cries in front of me, like I'm wet.
Hot.
Wet.
Hot.
No matter
Yeah.
what they're crying about.
I mean, I guess it depends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd
I
be
mean,
like,
if they like,
you have a good reason,
they
You're like,
just
it
you
gotta
know?
be
ticket
something
and they
big.
cry.
Right, I'm
I'd
like,
be like,
"Ooh,
get it
maybe,
together.
maybe,
Has to
yeah,
be big
get
enough to like be worthy of crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Right?
then also, if they are crying over that, I'd be like, okay, this is deeper than that. Like, what's happening? Let's
Mm-hmm.
unpack this. It's not just the speeding ticket. Like,
Right.
what happened?
Right. What happened to you as
Like,
a
what's your
child?
relationship like with your parents?
Right?
I want to like dig deep. I'm like, this is more than just this. Like, there's something deeper. Let's unpack this. Like that. I feel like that would totally. That's where the conversation would go for
Uh-huh.
me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That is
Nah,
so
dude.
funny. But yeah, if they're crying over like, like we're watching Bambi and they cry, I'd be like, ugh, like that's
It's a
precious.
problem, dude.
Yeah.
When my wife starts crying about something, it's hard because like I want to listen to you, but I'm
Hmm.
also like turned on.
Yeah.
I'm also like
You're turned on by women crying too?
yeah. I mean, I think vulnerability's hot,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right? So when you're
Yeah.
opening up, it's like, dude, you like me enough to like let me
Let
in,
you
and
Aw.
you trust me with these feelings. Okay, great. I also know what's gonna happen when we're done crying.
Right. You're like, then you'll be fine, and then we will like
And
remember it.
then it's like
Yeah.
10:30. We
Yeah.
got time.
Yeah.
You've heard
You
me
know?
cry like 2 times. Were you turned on both those times?
What'd you cry? What'd you cry
I'm not
about?
gonna
I can't even
talk about
remember.
it.
I can't even remember
One
what
of it
you.
was the Palm Springs episode that I think we archived.
That one I
And then
wasn't turned on.
were you turned on by that one?
He was like, that was
No,
not
I wasn't
hot. Yeah.
turned on.
And
That one I
then
wasn't.
the other one was my Adderall addiction.
Oh my god. I'm on Vyvanse.
Yo, but see, okay,
It was such a problem.
Yeah.
I loved it so much.
Hilarious.
but that wasn't on the. Oh, that wasn't on the episode. I just
No,
called
it wasn't
you.
on it. Yes.
I just called you.
You've seen me
Yeah.
cry
I don't.
or heard me cry
we-
2 times.
We've had to have these combos where I'm like, what's going on,
yeah,
right?
he always
where
calls. He knows.
where and I do this with our friends in general. I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, something's off with you. What's up?
Yeah,
I'm that
yeah.
friend. Like, I'm not just like. I feel like I if I'm in your life, I'm here for a reason.
Mhm.
Aw,
Um,
that's sweet.
And so I was like, okay, I got to stop you from jumping, right?
I also
So
lost like 30 pounds. in a
that's the
year.
thing.
Wow.
That's the thing. So you
And
shut
so
up.
Brian was like,
So
"Are you cool?"
You're
and I
like,
was
"Are
like,
you okay?"
"What?
by the way,
Why are you asking?"
by the way, you look great right now.
Thank you. I've gained
Aw.
like 18
You
pounds
have.
in the last
Oh my
month and a half.
gosh.
gained a lot of
Wow.
weight.
Was it the Adderall?
It was the Adderall.
Wow.
Well, I accidentally took meth for a week.
Oh my god, I've done that too.
What was it?
I've
Mexican Adderall?
Was it the
It
fake
wasn't-
pill?
Wait. Yes, I'm taking Mexican Adderall. That shit was fucking insane.
Dude, that's
Okay,
meth,
it's
It was
not-
meth.
It's
I
meth,
took
bro.
meth?
Yes. Yes. I went into a meth-induced psychosis and had to go to the psych ward.
It was orange.
No, that shit.
It was
'cause
orange.
Is it
huh?
orange?
It was
I went
orange.
to yes, I went to
Yeah.
and those bitches fucking charged me. So it was like
$30 a pill.
$300 for a fucking like whole
Wait,
thing.
you buy it in Mexico?
Yes,
At a
and
pharmacy.
I be getting that shit
at
for
a
free
pharmacy, huh?
with my
You bought it at a
insurance.
pharmacy?
80% of Adderall that comes from Mexican pharmacies are straight methamphetamine.
That was fucking meth because I was on a bachelorette trip and we took it, and everyone was fucking
Fucked
cracked
up,
out.
huh? Yeah. Dude.
We were on.
Full dose. Look at your.
I need to clip this so I can send this to my friend because we fucking took, and we still talk about it. We're like, damn, that Adderall in Mexico was crazy.
Yeah.
Meth.
Yo, it's meth. Straight up.
Meth.
100%.
And I would take Adderall 3 times a day because my metabolism's
yeah,
really
I was gonna say,
fast.
I was like, I was already like,
so I was
but the
taking
Adderall
meth.
in Mexico hit different.
Yep.
No, dude.
That
Because meth works for
mix.
8 hours and my Adderall will work for 3. So I'm taking meth 3 times a day and it's just adding up. I'm not sleeping. And it was like for a week. And then I went
Holy
fucking crazy
fuck.
walking up and down the street talking to myself. And so after that situation, I was like, I should just stop it all.
Yeah.
So now I'm on Strattera. So it's like not addictive.
Now another drug.
No,
There's
no,
another
it's not
replacement. We
addictive.
just talked about it
It's not addictive.
on our last
That's
episode. It's not
insane.
addictive.
No, I miss that rush
it's
of
the
Adderall.
So it's been
attachment.
twice that I accidentally took meth.
Yep.
So bad. Now you can tell your friends that that's what it was.
I had to tell the whole bachelorette
Yeah.
party, the whole bridal party.
Yeah.
I'll clip this
People
for you
like,
right
we
away.
all took
Wait,
meth
so
that
you
day.
gave it to everyone.
They told my friend wanted it because
So
she
you
was
brought
like,
it.
Yeah.
But they said it
So
was
you're
No,
like,
we
Adderall.
bought it
You're
in
like
like
a dealer.
some random fucking pharmacy in Tulum.
Exactly. They sell it at the fucking pharmacy.
Yes.
Yep.
Meth.
And it was
Yep.
like, they were like, okay, so something pesos. And I was like, okay, that's fine. That's probably like nothing. I didn't do the math. And I looked at my bank account later. I was like, she charged me
It's so
$300?
expensive. They don't because they know you don't know because the math is really
Yeah.
hard. It's always like 2,572,
Right. And I'm
and
like,
you're like,
in
what the
Mexico,
fuck
you
is
can
that?
afford everything. So you're like,
Yeah,
it's fine. It's
exactly.
cheaper.
That's
It's
like
always cheaper.
$10.
It's fine. But
Nah.
I'm like, oh, they fucking screwed me over. And it was meth, those bitches.
Mhm. Yeah,
Wow.
it was great though, wasn't it?
It was very
It's really
intense.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't
Like we
do it,
had
you
to like we
guys.
had to like cut it in pieces and share it
Yeah.
because it was like just a quarter of it was like,
Great stuff, you guys.
wow. I gotta tell
You guys
want
wanna
to
go
gotta
do
let
some
the girls know.
Meth and vape.
Oh
No,
my
Oh,
stop
I
it.
want it.
All right.
That's how I'm like with hot Cheetos.
I do
I
love hot
fiend.
Cheetos
I
with cream cheese.
fiend. No, but like I've done that in high school.
Yeah,
Are you
I
in
like that.
therapy now that you're not broke anymore?
Um, I did have a therapist. I should probably go back. I paused just because I felt fine. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I think I'm okay. It was just like kind of getting a little expensive, literally.
Yeah.
So it's just like, took a break.
Have
But
you
I'm
done
like, maybe I
couples
should.
therapy?
We are planning to. We want to. Yeah. Yeah. We probably should get on that.
I like couples therapy. We've had the same therapist for like 13 years.
Really?
Really?
I saw her today.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to like switch it up, get like a new perspective
Yeah,
on
I've gotten new therapists, and then I'm just like,
they suck.
they're garbage.
Yeah, I
We-
think I want a new
yeah.
therapist. I mean, I love Erica. She's great. But I was just like, I think I just want to, like, yeah, just switch it up.
All right, before you
Oh
go,
my
I
God, I'm
actually want
so
to because
sorry.
you deal with this stuff all the time. I'm just curious for you. It's so funny because like I'm not gonna put words in your mouth because I could, but I'm not going to. Like you're for people trying to date right now because everyone's like dating so hard. You were like
Mm,
LA sucks, right?
mhm.
Everyone hates the apps right now, and then like hello young boys voted for Trump, right? It's like what's your
Yeah.
like advice for people trying to date right now? What would you say to them with everything you've learned from all these years doing the podcast?
Yeah, I think my biggest advice, just from like, again, talking to so many people, going on so many fucking dates, and using every motherfucking app. I would say just be honest with each other because not everyone is gonna be your person, and not everyone is gonna want the same thing. And I think that people are so scared to be themselves. They literally put a mask on or they try to present the best self, and as we all do. But I think that's just like there's a lot of dishonesty and just people not able to just like confront each other. Like, let's say, for instance, my friend just got ghosted and she was dating this guy for a few months and she met him on an app and everything. And he just like stopped talking to her. And I just feel like that's so, it's like, we're in our 30s, bro. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like, let's
You
like, we're
better be dead.
grown. Like,
Right.
literally. But he's not, because
Mm.
he's outside. But, uh, but it's like, that's the thing. I'm just like, if we were just all just like honest with each other and respectfully honest, not like mean honesty, whatever, just like, just being real, I think, because when you're real and you're yourself and you are letting other people know like who you are, it's like we're able to like navigate, I think, clearly. I think it just things get so mushed when there's just so many, you know like you're just so uncertain or whatever. People are just lying out here playing games and shit
Mm-hmm.
and ghosting. you know
I like that because
yeah,
the courage to just be honest, to be 100%
and
awake.
it's scary, I get it, but I think it's just be fucking real.
Right, because you're gonna weed out the people that you don't want in your life anyway. Just
So I
be
think
Mhm.
yourself.
so I think that's the
Yeah.
problem is like you're gonna get way less matches,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
way less likes. But like if you equate like success to matches, then you're never gonna get what you want anyway.
Right.
Quality over
Right.
quantity.
Always.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's so funny because I'm gonna go on a rant in a second,
Oh
and it
yeah,
Mhm.
might
we get
counter
off for a
it
minute.
might counter everything you just said.
Oh, dang.
But
Okay,
but
let's
I
hear it.
do I agree with you. I
Yeah, yeah.
do. I
Well, I
do.
have a question for you. Sorry, I
What
know
is
we're
it?
running out of time. You're dating, I mean, you're not dating, you're married to a Filipino woman.
Mhm.
How's that like?
What do you mean?
Like, because I feel like Filipino women, we are very strong and
Uh huh.
and passionate. Like, I don't know. What's the dynamic like, I guess? I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
that's
that's really like
interesting.
wide
I
and
can go
big, but
so many ways, so many directions with that question.
yeah.
I'm not just saying this because she's in the room and listens to the
Mm-hmm.
podcast, but I actually do love being married to my wife.
Aw.
Yeah, I think that like she lets me like run in whatever directions I want to run in and just kind of gives me a sandbox in which to operate.
Yeah.
And then I can just play within that space and I love that.
Yeah.
And then she has a really strong family value. So like even from I want to say once we were 6 months into dating, it was immediately like it's you and me against the world, and it's been like that forever.
Yeah.
And so
Loyal as
she
fuck.
was super loyal. So for her, she's treated everything like us
Mm.
way before I did.
Yeah.
Like this is our money, this is our home, these are our
Aw.
friends, right? She calls my mom, and it took me a lot
Oh.
longer
We're
to
very
get to
like
that
very
point.
nurturing culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
also feel nurtured and taken care of, and it actually challenges me because I'm always trying to figure out how I can take more care of her. Um,
Aw.
and I think I do, and she says that I do, but I almost never feel like I'm doing enough versus what she does.
Oh,
for me.
that's so sweet.
So
I
when it's
love
actually so
love.
funny, like when she does give me something, like she wanted a new car recently,
Mm,
and once I found out what car she wanted, I negotiated the fuck out of this car. I like went to every dealership that had it
mm.
and just like had them negotiating against each other to get the best price. And I like felt
Yeah,
like my wife finally gave me something to give to her.
Oh,
Um,
he
so
was
yeah,
so
does that.
excited about
that
it.
is so
And I was so pumped.
sweet.
I called Layla. I was like, Layla, I talked the fuck out of these
Uh-huh.
people, dude. I
Oh
got them
my
She's
down
like, I got this
four
deal and then
god.
grand.
this deal.
Sucker. And I
Mhm.
didn't
I
even
love
tell
it.
them how much the other dealership was giving me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
And
so
That's how it
excited.
goes.
are you from here? Are you born here?
Nah, she's from the Bay.
Oh, you're from the Bay. Like my boyfriend. Love that.
But it
Okay.
took a while. I mean, the first time I met her dad, we got into it. But I could. That's
Yeah.
another
We could,
story for
I
yeah,
know.
another
We're
yeah.
gonna have to
time.
have you come back on
Yeah, I
just
was
because
thinking.
this was just like fun.
All right, before we rant, where can people find you?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, you could oh god. Follow
Hello?
me, Stefanie Maegan. I have I have like a little thing that I do at the end of my podcast. Or go to brocotherapy.com. All of it's there. All the links, everything.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll put in the show notes.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
put in the show notes. Okay, what's your rant?
Oh shit. Do you know what yours is?
I do. Will you
Then
go?
you go. No, I don't know mine yet. So you go.
Oh my god. All right, all right. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. Okay. All right. Look, I know everybody thinks dating apps suck, but stop complaining about them if you're not gonna fucking try. And here, like, I came up with a new analogy for this. Okay, look, I spent a lot of time reviewing dating app profiles, and men, I'm specifically talking to you. Please, please, please stop with the bathroom selfies. All right, and like groom your beard before you take the picture, or maybe make sure the sun's not in your fucking face, or just like pretend like you know friends and get them to take the picture, or just one picture with your dog, not 7 pictures with your dog, because then it looks like you're in a
Thirsty.
relationship with the dog. What
Yeah.
I would do is I would go to Zillow and look at how they present the houses, right? You don't walk around Zillow with like a cell phone doing selfies in all the rooms. Like, you get a professional to take the pictures. Tinder and Bumble and everything else, it's like Zillow for humans. How your pictures show up matter. So just fucking try, and I promise you, you'll have more success.
That was
That's
good.
my
Yeah, that was good.
rant.
How does that counteract my thing?
That was
That was
good.
good advice.
Because you
Because
said to tell them to be honest, and sometimes I feel like maybe the bathroom selfie is honest, but it's like too
no,
honest.
no,
Like,
that's like
No.
like
I
not
meant honest
toilet
like about who
honesty.
you are as a person
Got it.
and like what you
Okay,
want in life. But I mean, yeah, no, I agree because men don't know how to take pictures of themselves.
No, they fucking don't. Okay, I'm gonna get off for 1 minute.
let's go.
Okay, don't ever fucking call me without texting me and telling me what the conversation is going to be. So, whenever I get a phone call from a friend, it could be my mom, my best friend in the entire world, it could be my boss, it could be anybody, I'm never, ever gonna answer your call. If you call me 2 times in a row, I'm gonna assume that was a butt dial. Call me 3 times in a row. If it's an emergency, I will answer, but I will be upset about it. I'm never gonna call you back. I will never listen to your voicemail. If you send me a text message that takes longer than 3 to 5 seconds to read, I'm not going to read it. And I just think that that should be standard. I think that that should be texting, and like that should be phone etiquette in general, is to text somebody what this conversation is about. Because if you just want to talk about your day, I don't have time. My ADD has like dialed in on what my ADD thing is for that day, so I don't care about your day. But sometimes I do care about your day, so like I don't know how I'm gonna feel. So just text me, see where I'm at prior, see how I'm feeling prior, and I'm feeling good, then I'm gonna answer your call. But for it to come out of the blue, that feels crazy to
You're
me. I've never
done.
done
That's
that.
time. You know what's funny?
Hmm.
This is I do text you what I'm gonna call you about before I call you.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
This
You
is
would
actually
As you
true for
should.
you, because otherwise you assume like someone's dying.
Yes. I will assume it is
This
an
is true.
emergency, so I don't want to answer it because I don't want to know that it's bad news. Or I don't want to sit on the phone and talk to you for
You
30 minutes about your day because I'm not in the headspace to care.
you take every phone call like, hey, we need to talk.
Yeah. Every phone call is like, I'm in trouble and we need to talk.
hilarious.
So
You would
that's-
hate me. I am a random FaceTime caller. I will call you whenever the fuck I feel like it. And if you don't call, I'm finding another friend to call.
Ooh.
I can respect that and I can
Yeah,
appreciate that because I will
but,
text
but,
you.
But I'm not gonna be offended if you don't pick up because I
I
understand.
won't
was
pick
running a
up, but I
call.
will text you and you'll say,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
wanted to say hi, and then I'll call you back.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Thank you for being on today.
Thank you
so
for having me.
much.
So fun.
This was
Thank you for
so
being on.
fun. I
This is
adore
a ton
you.
of
And we're gonna
fun.
go to a
Learned a
party.
lot.
We're going to a sex party.
Latina with a Latina. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. If you're loving the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until we see you next time, try something or try someone new.
Cute. Oh, that was fun.
Woohoo!